I arrived here in February of 1988, actually following my to-be wife. Coming down to South Florida, she got a job with Motorola. Worked at Motorola as a manufacturing engineering, and when that went up, I got a call from the head of the United Way and saying, would you like to run the Urban League of Palm Beach County? I left Motorola in September of 2001, started here at the Urban League February 2002. I originally said more than once that this was not a job for me. One reason being is that I didn't have any nonprofit experience other than volunteering at United Way. I raised a lot of money for United Way. I averaged about $300,000 to $400,000 a year as far as money raised for the United Way, of which the Urban League got some of that. But that was a time going past where the Urban League was suffering in the late 90s to the point where they could have closed the doors here, and I honestly feel that not too many people in the community would have cared. They would have closed the doors here, and somebody was saying a month later, I didn't see any lights at the Urban League lately. Well, they closed the doors 3 months ago. You didn't know that? I honestly feel that was the sentiment back then. This is our main facility, our Economic Empowerment Center. This is dealing with everything to do with housing. We have another site over on Tamarind, right in front of Coleman Park Community Center, which we have our Community Empowerment Center, which has our digital learning zone there, our crime prevention programs, our urban youth employment programs, our food pantry, and it goes on and on. Then we have right down the street, we lease the building for our fiscal, administrative, and development, and urban youth empowerment. One of the things that I'm very proud of is that the building that we're in right now, our main facility, a year and a half ago, we were able to acquire the entire building. And there's a little history behind that because this building was built by Percy Lee and a lot of community residents back in the early 80s. This was land that was donated to the Urban League by the school district. And they built the building on the weekends, a lot of community input, a lot of plumbers, electricians, and masonry, and donated their time. I've heard that Percy cooked a lot of barbecue on the weekends and served a lot of cold beer and in return for your services, and they built this building. But the dirt that we sat on was not ours. The school district couldn't give us the dirt because they weren't allowed to under law, because this is a public tax entity, the school district. So for 20-something years, we owned the building, but not the dirt. So through some maneuvering that I did, it took me almost 7 years to do this, where we had the city and the school district make a deal to swap land, and in there, they swap land all the time. A little parcel here, a little parcel there for an extra parking lot at a school or whatever. So I got the school district to add in a little parcel that we sat on right here into one of their deals. And it was so much in fine print that nobody even knew it was there. So after that was done, I went to the city that said, now I would like my land for my building. And they said, like, we have no idea what you're talking about. So essentially what it boiled down to is that we got to the city of West Palm Beach. They acquired our land they had it for about a year. And then finally, about a year and a half. And then finally we got through the motions that they donated it back to us. So we own the building and the land here. Back in 2003, I started acquiring property all through the Coleman Park area. And if you ever drive over to Palm Beach Lakes and you see these bright, colorful townhouses on the north side of the bridge, we built those units back in 2010. Those are 11 units, 2, 3, and 4 bedroom units that we use for residential housing. We initially started this program to do a housing incubator where individuals or families that needed a place to live in a nice, safe environment, in a nice structure, we gave them housing. Right now, we are 100% occupied with residents with a waiting list. We're looking to expand because that's phase one. We've had that in place for 5 years now. We have phase two that's coming up, and that's a picture of phase two on the corner of Sapodillo and Palm Beach Lakes. That's going to be 2 4-bedroom units, which will round out that entire block. So we will finish that entire block. Going forward, we have plans that we would take other parcels all around that area and convert to affordable housing. And in the meantime, as we convert to affordable housing, we'll be changing the dynamics of that community, changing it totally. From blighted, rundown properties or vacant lots into nice, usable, affordable housing for individuals who are looking to better their position while they look to become a homeowner. Everything we do here is free of charge, and I have a good feeling that when you do a good job, people will come back. They will refer their friends and their neighbors and their family members to us, and that's how we're growing.